This week, in catching all of you up in something I myself am not even remotely caught up on, we have a room full of dignitaries. We've got one highly entertaining Hedrick and a mass suggestion that can change the world. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
What is she wearing?
It's your sister, man.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco. I am going to be your host and DM for this evening of fun. I'm going to start by introducing my lovely cast of characters. To my left, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
I really hope they all can compromise on all of this.
We have Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
It's no surprise when you greet my eyes, all of y'all will compromise.
To his left, Dave returning as Zero.
Greetings. Have I missed anything?
Oh, I'm so glad you're back.
And John.
He's always been there.
Yeah. And John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Wait, who does our ship even belong to?
Not joining us tonight, Zach unfortunately cannot make it. He'll be back with us in a couple weeks. However, there's been some things that have been happening.
What?
You guys are in the middle of a bit of a sticky wicket situation.
Indeed.
So
They're trying to take our ship.
you are currently taking part in the debate in the world's first ever Summit of the Southern Kingdoms, where literally all of the world's leaders of all of the Southern Kingdoms have met here in a random, highly refined, in a highly refined pirate cove to discuss worldly matters. The first topic of which happens to be the technology for your airship.
I do find it funny that you're using the words refined and pirate in the same sentence.
I'm going to keep pushing that just to really highlight that these are highly refined pirates.
They
Beautiful.
take baths.
Well, I mean, so do I.
Well, nor do most pirates, though.
You guys are part of the discussion and are seated at the table, taking part in this, probably just like representing yourselves as a group.
I feel like this is like a Senate hearing. We're like D. Snyder sitting.
You know, it would feel like that if you guys were not seated at the table with the rest of the world's leaders.
Oh, we're sitting with them? Okay. I was picturing us facing.
We have been invited.
You're
to
facing
this.
people, some people on the other side of the table. If you
Yes. Gotcha.
We've heard a lot of rabble. There's been a lot of debate about like who should own the technology for this, and like, you know, what are these pirates going to do with the technology to build airships, you know, and things of that nature. So Hedrick has stepped up to essentially try to maybe change the energy of the room a bit, like kind of get things to be more productive. And he cast a mass suggestion on everyone.
Only he knows that happened, too.
The only exclusions from these world's leaders, which you can find the full list either in previous episode or on our Discord. I will have it pinned in episode talk.
All the right people.
Queen Daravesh of Erelon, Boris the benevolent a vassal of the
What, Riverford?
a vassal of the Kingdom of Erelon, or sorry, the Kingdom of Vesh. However, still representing itself as its own entity, the Riverford, right? The Baroness of Riverford.
13-year-old
Yeah.
Baroness.
Yep, she is 13. And you also excluded the chief executive of the Omega Project because he seems to be just kind of sitting here waiting for the, like, maybe like a decision to be made, because ultimately, as you guys know, this technology is really owned by the Omega Project. Off mic, I rolled the 12 wisdom saves that we had. So cliffhangerly, nope, that's not a verb.
Nope.
Hated it the second it came out of my mouth.
Cliff hung.
Yes. Precisely.
Cliff Hung.
How
Say
hung
that.
is it?
All right, that's my next
As in,
NPC.
like William Hung's less popular cousin.
Right. So we left them cliff hung.
Yes. Yes.
That sounds worse. That
Cliffhanged.
doesn't sound good.
Cliffhanged. I think it's cliffhanged. I don't think it's cliff hung.
Cliff hunged. Plural.
Get out of here. Oh God. that kind of hurt my heart. I was like, oh God.
I stab at thee.
Ugh. Cliff hunged.
And those results were, I'm sorry, Fred.
Hapless Heroes, where we just murder the English language part, whatever.
Right.
So when
Hung
we
off
had,
a cliff.
Yes. I left you hanging on a cliff with that. In fact, we just actually extended the cliffhanger by just having this ridiculous discussion.
So you made the cliff bigger?
You're
The,
gonna,
the drama. Yeah.
you're gonna be surprised here that I mean, okay, now I rolled 12 d20.
We watched you.
Most of them were very low rolls.
Good. Great.
Yeah, that's what we want.
So the whole rabble, and arguments you can see start to die down a little bit. With really now the only like dissenters or people who are having a hard time wanting to compromise at all are the dwarves. So that's
Shocking.
Thendo the Thrasher, as you recall, and the and Elrond and Luminumion, who is the leader of the High Elves,
That makes sense, though.
the High King of the High Elves.
Yeah.
One thing that does get shouted though, because like as these literally just two people who are not maybe now starting to want to negotiate. One of the arguments against them, you see that you hear Elrond shout something where he's like, I don't think that we should be trusting this technology to anyone. It is far too dangerous. Even just look at even the owners of it currently are just a roguish band of adventurers. And Gnorm, the leader of the independent Gnome Corp of Engineers, stands up and he's like, but how can you say that when they have literally the world's greatest airship pilot? And everyone kind of turns around, and in the doorway is standing Zero with his mug.
Yeah, not you.
Oh, it's really him. It's him. I can't believe it.
And
There's
Just
our captain.
Stops, stands dead center of the door for a good slow 5 count. Looks left, right, and then saunters over towards the rest of the hapless heroes.
amazing.
During which, whether you saw it or not, Quinn goes to rise, but then kind of just deflates
Of course.
when Zero walks in.
What, you thought they were talking about you? Of course you
mean-
did. Of course you did. Why am I even asking that question?
Obviously.
I'm going to go ahead. Zero, can you, what's this save against the mug again?
Boss.
Remind me. I'm going to have Elrond Illuminumion and Thendo the Thrasher
The two that don't agree.
make saves against the mug. Yes.
Wisdom saves against 15.
Fail and fail. Thendo stands up and he says, I'll only agree with it if this robot teaches them how to fly it.
He is a good captain.
So Gnorm says to you, yes, I would love to get my hands on this technology. Yes, all my gnomes sound the same.
Well, Gnorm, it's nice to meet you. I'll go over and shake his hand, and he's gonna go up to Elrond.
There's
and
no
he
G
wants
in nice.
See that you know how to speak a little bit of Gnomish. And he extends his hand.
I extend my hand. I go,
Wait, no, I'm sorry. You can't handshake across the table. He just he kind of gives you a thumbs up.
Moral friendly thumbs up.
I've got a mage hand. I'll just mage hand a little.
Oh,
hand.
perfect,
And
yeah.
it will be proportionately sized to the gnome.
That's
so,
beautiful.
So it doesn't feel awkward.
He feels incredibly respected.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. And things start to settle down, and Chief Executive now speaks up, and he says that I've heard everyone's arguments.
Perfect.
I have heard what the people have to say,
Mayor Quimby.
and I say that as long as there is cooperation between all nations, then yes, this technology should be shared. We do have a common goal. and that is to fight back at this plague of undead at its source. And there's a couple like grunts and hears because like people like that's what the reason that everyone is even sitting here talking to one another is because the undead are the greatest threat to all life
Right.
that anyone can ever imagine. So some of people are still, you can see there's still like an air of caution during the negotiations. I'm not gonna like dialogue all the negotiations.
Right.
I'm just gonna give you guys the skinny. In that, they're kind of negotiating. Okay, who's going to be able to build the ships? Who's going to have access to them? There needs to be it's like you're talking about like creating gigantic weapons. Like everyone needs to be able to have all interested parties need to be able to have access to these ships at any given time. Like they had to be crewed by like a multinational crew, so that there is it's seen as a unified front. Because to just hand this technology over to one group of individuals poses too much of a risk to the security of the rest of the kingdoms when they already have the undead to worry about. But if we're all working together and we can show good faith that we're all working together, we are happy to do this.
I think we are going to need an extensive training program in order to operate these crafts, and along with that, we need to ensure that this is a multinational organization working as one unit. I believe that's the only way we can do this. We got to team up.
What is the punishment for deflecting?
Defecting immediately.
Defecting.
Well, I
To
guess,
what? The undead?
It's right around this point.
But I mean, think about the fact that like these are all like powerful people who don't necessarily all get along.
Right, but
So
when
it doesn't
but when,
necessarily mean that they're all going to actually like
Sure.
follow through with what they say.
but when all of the ships, I guess, are crewed by people from everywhere, I guess there's maybe sort of an understanding that if there's a mutiny, like you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to even turn an entire ship, let alone a whole fleet.
Gotcha. So the ships themselves are going to be like
Multinational
Oh, yes.
crews.
yes.
Okay.
And I believe Omega Project representatives or those approved by the Omega Project have to be in charge of instruments and all things technical and maintenance, and they are the only people classified to work on these crafts and man them in that regard.
As far as like actually overseeing the construction of them.
Yeah.
So
Or even-
Omega Project has the plans. They know how to build these, and they will be the ones doing that. But
So every ship has an Omega Project scientist attached as chief engineer
Yeah,
correct.
and
slash crew chief.
slash project manager for
Yeah.
the build.
They're already trained in these ways anyways. We don't need to teach people how to build these.
Yeah.
We need to teach them how to work together and operate together.
It also means every single one of these airships is going to operate like shit because the crew has no experience. working
Right.
with
And they're going to
each
have
other.
to train together. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's any sort of backlash within our nations, it has to be, punished capitally. It will not. It will not be
Keel
allowed.
hauling
I know where I was coming
on a
from. to
flying
begin with,
ship
but-
would be very different than keel hauling. It'd probably actually be more pleasant, to be realistic, because you just kind of swing to the other side instead of like dragged along the barnacles.
Right.
Right. That's a horrible way to do it.
Life changes when you're floating thousands of feet in the air.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dragged beneath an airship thousands of feet in the air is its own kind of harrowing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound as bad. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we could go there, but
I'm sure we will,
I'm sure both are terrible.
Just dangle them from a bungee cord and let the vultures do the rest.
Oof, that wouldn't be good. Can they catch up though? How
So
fast do you-
while you guys now trail off into your own discussion,
Jarrell did want
Just-
to ask, so how if we're still having that, how long do you intend to keep us? There is a war waging. We can provide you, I'm sure, with the schematics, but what are you all expecting of us?
so this is actually where I was about to go with
Yeah.
this. A few different leaders stand up to maybe plead their case for maybe where this technology would be most applicable, or at least like try to bid their claim to like, we need this more here to reinforce this in order to,
Sure, they're pretty much trying to pick where we go.
So right now, here are the big issues. You hear the Troll King stands up, and he's also with the leader of the Darakeen Protectorate. That's what was it? Thumb. Hold on. I had it here. Thumb. Yeah, Emperor Thumb Ironheart.
There it is.
And yes, it's Thumb, not Tom. The H is not silent. And the Troll King Sug stand up and begin making their plea to bring, to have essentially air support or just naval support in general up near Scrag, which is the city of the Troll King.
Because that already fell.
That is like the northern borders of, this area between like you and the undead, where like the mountains kind of end.
Right. That wall's already down.
Their walls are already down, and Scrag is pretty much being overrun.
Yeah.
There's many camps that are now set up to like hold, to essentially hold back the invasion, and humans and monster kind, I'm using that in quotes, are working together. The beacons are lit,
Yeah.
as John explored in his little mini story arc.
Oh, they're so fucking lit.
So they're petitioning, for reinforcements there because the lands to the northwest are literally at risk of being overrun as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten through the mountains somehow, and it's bad.
You can see Basha is just making fists. Like he's pissed, but he's not really doing anything.
Sure.
He's fists tighten.
Zero stands up to address the table.
Okay, that's only one issue.
Yeah,
There's more
the
there's-
first
there's-
issue?
There's more people trying
Yeah.
to talk here. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Right. Chief Executive, if everyone started cooperating today, full access to the nations of every nation at this table, how long would it take to build the Armada?
That's what I wanted to know too.
It would take months.
3, 4, 6?
I think that if we had all hands working, and if we could get even just some hard workers from every nation, we might be able to speed up the process. We have enough material to build a sizable fleet.
They got enough enchanted wood.
We have a source.
Let's say 3 months then. In 3 months, I'll have crews ready to go. The screen smashes to black and starts the Always Sunny intro with Zero starts a Top Gun Academy.
Amazing. Perfect.
So
Like, Zero will teach them.
Okay.
we can teach them on our ship too.
Well, yeah, we can do that.
While they're building the Armada, we're training like 7 different captains per week.
Okay.
Sure.
The another issue that's brought to your attention is that Last Wall is under attack once more. The Crow King stands up. You hear him go again. He's wearing that, remember, the full crow mask, like almost like a plague doctor's mask. But it's
Right.
more like a masquerade situation. And when he speaks, you just hear him. And then one of the murder of crows with him translates.
The speaker probably.
Yeah. No, the speak. It's
Yeah,
just- it's just-
none of their aides
it's
are
just-
here. That was a weird thing.
Yeah.
We noticed. Like some of the other people who like work.
I don't
under-
think it may. This may be that not many people actually know that all the leaders are gathered here.
Sure.
And so they have, which is why also Baroness Anasterian,
Right,
Kip,
Kip.
is also not here.
Yep. Stonehoof isn't here.
So
Apparently the speaker, the Crow King, isn't
people
here.
are probably trying to keep shit running.
Mhm.
Also, you know that Kip and Boris were like pretty tight, and
Yeah.
there's probably gonna be an exchange of information there too. So one of the murder who's translating for him says, "Last Wall is being hit by a constant flurry of undead horrors. So far, the wall
Boys.
still stands, but we have not observed any of those titans that we saw the last time.
Those Titan
Titans.
whores.
So we think that something larger is brewing. We've been able to repel them so far, but we fear that we may see something unlike the likes we've ever seen before."
All this talk of horrors, there's something larger brewing down in my pants.
And then the Crow King continues. The Crow King also says that many of the undead skeletons and zombies
Zombie.
were wearing clothing resembling that of the fashions and styles of Tarantus,
Oh shit.
which is very confusing. As you all know, I'm ad-libbing now. He didn't say that. I just said that.
Yes.
Because obviously he's talking longer than the Crow King was mumbling. You know?
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is spreading in sporadic, scattered locations. They're not necessarily from one location. This is happening all
Yeah.
over.
Are you telling us that Tarantus is still on this plane of existence?
Unknown. We're just telling you what we've seen.
So
The Francis, I'm sorry,
Popeson?
Pope Popeson. No, yeah, it's Francis Popeson.
Right.
The archcleric Francis Popeson also steps up, and he says, "I have heard the message of Valen, and something dark descends upon our world. The old temples are crumbling in High Rock, unprovoked, undisturbed. Many have fallen. This is an omen, a dark omen. But Valen has spoken to me, and the Archclerisy will lead the people through it."
When was the
This
last
guy's
time she
gesturing
spoke to
wildly.
you?
Yeah, what'd she sound like?
I want to know, when was the last time? I haven't heard from her in a while.
He says, "Oh, Lord Charel, it is because you are still learning. You are still working your way up through the ranks of the clerisy. I just spoke to her last night."
Last night, and Jarl looks at his helmet and sits back down. He doesn't have his helmet on. It's
They don't
on the
know about.
table.
They don't really know what your helmet is. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
yeah.
John knows. Jarl is ignorant of everything.
Because all the information that they know, at least from what they seem to be assuming, is hearsay. Because none of the people from the Archclerisy were at Last Wall when
Yeah.
Valen appeared.
But Jarl hasn't spoken with Valen in months since the helmet stopped working, since Tarantus disappeared.
That is correct.
So Popeson saying that he spoke to her.
grinds your gears.
Can Jarl roll an insight on that?
Yes, you can.
Classic Jarl. Insight is it's actually a 12. That's not bad for him.
You think he's being genuine?
Mhm.
Like it sounds like he's being truthful. So somehow he must have a line to Valen.
And Jarl would believe that with him being.
I mean, you've had no reason to distrust the church that you've grown up in so far.
Of course not.
You know,
But he.
they sent you out. They sent you off on a holy mission. This is probably the first time you've seen Francis Popeson in a long time.
It was less suspicion of Popeson and more, why won't she talk to me?
Sure. So now you think there's something wrong with you.
Right.
I mean, like, you got ghosted, man.
Yeah, probably.
Just
That's what
accept
Jarl-
it and move on.
And she's
See him
still
off.
talking. She's still talking to Zero Man.
Yeah. See him off screen shaking the helmet.
Right, like hitting it.
Right.
Rubbing and polishing,
Right.
just like too much shine.
For Zero's information, you also have not heard from Valen in about the same amount of time. Okay, and finally,
So he doesn't give us anything to do. He just
And we
complains.
also know from Arion Black that communication to any plane outside of this one is essentially shut off right now.
Yeah, but
Right.
Jarl rolled the insights.
Well, yeah, he said High Rock is crumbling, so clearly they're being attacked.
no,
This-
they're undisturbed.
Right.
Oh.
The temples of the dead gods.
He does.
They crumble when
I was
they
going
die.
to say he does continue to say a little more. If you need to cough, just raise a hand. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard for me to cut those. Francis Possum does continue just a little further now that like you kind of had that quick exchange, and he says, "Lord Charel, you as the champion of Our Lady
Jarl absolutely beams at that.
must lead this fleet immediately into the Crucible Lands and stop and cleanse this world of this foul evil for good.
Jarl is super into that idea.
The whole world is lost if you do not face the problem head on. If we cut it off at the source, everything will be solved."
That I want to do that.
Yeah,
If this feeling lasts for more than 4 hours,
his arms are like flailing very, I guess like he's definitely putting on a performance. It's
Right.
like he's putting on one of his-
Theatrically.
yeah, it's very theatrical. This guy,
Who's that one?
Francis
Popeson.
Popeson,
Still
the arch cleric,
I didn't know if we had moved to a different person.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
the arch cleric.
And Jarrell is totally sold on that.
So those are kind of like some of the decision points that are going to have to get mulled over. Obviously, can't commit much to right now. It seems like things may hold at least. There is some discussion now happening that, you guys are maybe kind of on the outside of like, we need to send more detachments here, or like, how are we going to reinforce these areas so that we can buy ourselves some time for this fortress, or for this armada, essentially, this fleet, this air fleet, to be built.
While this conversation's happening, Jarl's still probably paying slight attention, and he makes direct eye contact across the table with Basha, who's like, he has these like dark, deep red eyes, and he's just staring at Jarl when he hears that they need more people elsewhere, because he wants to go north so bad.
If he wants to be sent, I'm going to tell you right now, as also the, since you are the person who controls Basha, the intern, the little orc monk guy. If
He's actually big. He's actually quite big.
Okay, yeah. Younger orc
He's
monk
so
guy.
big. He's this big.
Enormous. The big,
Mexico's gonna pay for him.
biggest dog you've
Nobody's
ever
as big as
seen.
Basha. Nobody.
That's a good one.
That's too real.
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking for somebody bigger. You're not gonna find them. Forget about it. It's Basha.
So,
He's huge.
Anyways,
But Jarl does think we have a small army with us at this point. We could set every single one of them is a capable warrior.
send the. Are you saying when you say a small army? Do you mean like the interns?
Yeah.
So you now let me just get this straight. Are you suggesting that you guys send the interns?
Okay.
Under specific leadership of
I-
one intern each party.
I feel like he was asking for the fleet, and we're sending a few cast-offs on foot.
No, but again, these are very powerful warriors. If they keep up with us, and they probably are better suited for the task than the majority of the armies that they have. Like Basha leading with Stonehoof is they're just going to decimate.
So what
stuff.
you're saying to split the party, select.
Mhm.
You are. And I'm not saying this judgmentally, but are you suggesting that when the time comes, if you choose not to bring the fleet to Scrag and like the lands of the Troll King, you're gonna send a detachment of interns there to help buy you time to do something else?
with hopefully the Darakim Protectorate and the entire
yeah,
army
there's
of
gonna be
the
a whole bunch of
Troll
people
King.
there. Yeah, whole bunch of people there. Sure. That's. I mean, okay. You know what?
Because I think that
I want everyone here, and I want want you guys to weigh in as well. What your thoughts are on that? But I just give me a general persuasion check
on so it's Jarl with
on this
with
idea.
the group
On this
Yeah.
idea, with like
Okay.
with not just the group, but like other people too.
24.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, there's many people here who don't think that's necessarily a terrible idea. You have a group of people who have proven themselves to be rather capable and powerful adventurers, even the interns. That
Sometimes, especially the interns. Look at what Pregnard did.
right,
And Jarl fought with Pregnard.
right. That this is something that maybe they can feel comfortable about and send you guys maybe to deal with things either at Last Wall or some of the other areas where
Right.
there's maybe like more, I guess, direct problems to solve.
My
Whereas, like,
suggestion.
repelling an invasion, it's like, you just need people to repel it until you stop the source of the invasion.
Right. My suggestion would be that you let us help on both fronts, and when the fleet is ready, we might already be fighting in what's it called again?
In the Crucible lands?
Yeah, we might already be fighting in the Crucible lands. An armada showing up at our back at that moment would be pretty awesome. Foreshadowing.
One thing's for certain, there are higher concentration problem areas. We need people on the ground.
We need people at Scrag and we need people at Last Wall immediately.
We absolutely need to maintain communication with these agents because if it is spreading in either direction, we can anticipate that and our fleet can go to the essential place.
They've already broken through one wall. Let's not let them get the second.
I like singing songs, and now I'm planning a whole armada. So that's my 2 cents.
You're not bad at it. You'll get better.
I got a great teacher.
So this is like we're planning for like big things.
Yeah.
Big things. And this is about, we're talking like, some things are going to start happening now. But overall, over the next 3 months, like when 3 months hits, like you guys are going in.
Oh, either way, yes. Yes. When we have the Armada, I think we go straight and just cruise it all. And
Great.
can we take 3 months, though?
Yeah. I'm supposing that our current airship has enough room for me to house a certain number of pilot trainees that I'd be taking with into the field.
Yes.
Okay. That's about the only way I can.
You're going to be,
foresee
you may have to like,
running
Yeah,
that
yeah.
flight
you may have to
school.
replace a few red shirts, but you could get the job done.
He's
Okay.
Jed Dim. He's Jed Dim. He's dead, Jim.
Wow.
He's Jed Dim.
So is it,
Perfect. Nailed it.
two of the red shirts are named Jed and Dim.
Jed is a great name. Too. I love Jed.
Well, I was even thinking Jed apostrophe Dim.
Right.
Jed Dim.
He's Jed Dim. Meet Jed Dim.
Yes,
everybody.
that's our red shirt.
That's the token red shirt right there is
Yeah.
Jed Dim.
I'm gonna write up a character sheet for him.
Why? He's going to be dead in one episode.
Right.
Who
No,
said?
he's gonna be dead in every
That's
episode.
what we thought about. That's what we thought about half the characters that didn't end up dying.
See, Dave has the right idea.
Dave is correct.
Dave is
Oh my
right.
God! They killed Dead Jim.
No, it's
Jed
bastard.
Dim.
It's Jed Dim.
Oh, yeah, I said Dead Jim. I didn't even say Dead Jim.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
I couldn't do it
by
wrong.
saying it right.
I pulled a Jarrell. I couldn't do wrong.
Yeah. I don't think that's Jarrell. I think
Jed
that's
Dim is
me.
dead.
Jim.
Great. What were we doing again? I'm sorry.
I've gotten so used to this that it's just I've given up on holding the
redirecting.
reins. Yeah.
All right, world leaders, you need to select your very best to begin training ASAP, and they can report to
Captain Zero. Captain Zero, yes.
The helmsman.
The helmsman will give them the training. They can receive their orders from the captain.
Great. Now, we're not going to necessarily yada yada the next 3 months because we are going to explore a few things that's happened. This is at this. Okay, we've established what the end game of this is. Mm-hmm. What the next big step is.
The plan.
The start of the end game.
Yes. This is the beginning of the end.
So is this?
Would you say it's the fizzle bottom of,
No.
of the end?
Somewhere you hear Felix's nipples
in 3
tighten.
months is like, if you played Mass Effect, the Normandy going to Ilios or whatever it was, that triggered the end of the game.
Right. We're just like we're pushing things that way.
penultimate?
Yeah.
So we have 3 months
Yeah. Of
to do what we need
And-
to do.
2 potential missions.
And lots of information
Mm-hmm.
that you guys are free to explore, try to learn about, try to action on, try to plan an adventure around. There are many things to do, and there is news to be found anywhere should you be looking for larger things that aren't the main everything.
Daddy?
What?
Daddy?
What about Daddy?
I want to know my daddy.
What does Quinn do? Actually, you know what?
It's like Mort Part 2.
Well,
Right.
but I think this is a little bit more like
Sane.
there's a story to be finished here, and
There is.
like Quinn needs some resolution to this because he's been kind of bombarded with. That's why he's been super quiet too. He's very kind of inside himself right now.
We were all thinking it. How are you? Never mind.
And the imagination runs wild.
So what does Quinn do?
So what is it? What like I guess so it has like is this a disbanded conversation?
I
now?
mean, so now there's breakout discussions happening.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main major issues and topics of conversation have been addressed here, and you can see that the Sea Lords look at least like they seem satisfied with the conclusion. They also were convinced to compromise. So like everyone here kind of like Hedrick really swung this
Yeah.
somewhere that probably would not have gotten here organically.
Right.
So, you know, without maybe whether you guys realize that or not, like Hedrick really
We don't realize it because nobody else
Created-
knows he did that.
like
Well-
a compact, so to speak, right?
Everybody in here has had their exposure or taste of corruption. So they know how to swindle and wager and barter and leverage and
But this and this is
manipulate.
and this is everyone wins in this situation.
And everyone feels
Hopefully.
like they've done the manipulating.
After 24 hours, they're not even going to know a spell was cast, and in all likelihood should not be upset with the outcome.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that will try to subside the infighting, inevitable squabbles between
Yay, we didn't make it worse.
nations and communities.
I am pleasantly surprised.
I'm just here to help. I'm gonna be the binding agent that just brings this whole dough baby together. We can put it in the oven and let it rip.
So Quinn walks up to his sister.
Uh-huh.
Supposed sister.
Yeah, right now I'm going to say the setting is still we're all still in this large like sort of like I said, it was like this sunlit conference room. It's like it's just skylights from ceiling to side. It's like a slanted roof. You can just see out to the beach. It's beautiful.
It's probably pretty lit.
It's pretty fucking lit. And it's
Wait,
it's-
is it like a lot of light, or is
Right.
it just really cool looking?
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, like what, how lit is it?
Says the
It's
old
so
people.
lit that.
it's 4 in the afternoon lit.
Got it.
Wait,
So that
4
nice
in-
like sun's coming right in the window, kind of lit.
4
Yes,
in the afternoon in New York or 4 in the afternoon in Cabo?
Lit.
The latter.
Cabo, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
This is pristine private beach.
Lit.
Gigantic, gigantic private compound for the Sea Lords and their private guests.
What is she wearing?
It's your sister, man.
Wow, you just had that locked and loaded.
That was Mike speaking, not Quinn.
Can we,
Although,
for my sake, can we just not take it there? I don't want to have to role play some incestual bullshit.
oh no. Yeah, I'm not, no. Quinn has nothing to do with that. I mean, he's fucked a lot of things, but
He draws the line of family, right?
yeah. I mean, he's done cousins, but not his sister.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, so I don't know. He doesn't really know his family, like as much of his family. It's
just
apparently
Really,
he just-
anybody could have been a Southwind.
Oh,
We
well,
only have
That's true. I might have already done it.
vice versa.
I mean,
you
they
only
are
have her at
good-looking.
her word.
Okay, so I kind of just like meander over to my sister,
Who is-
supposed sister.
Who is wearing probably
You didn't have to
wouldn't say
answer that.
as gaudy of a pirate outfit as yours, because you think you said you were wearing like a whole like a red sort of like
Yeah.
a suede
Yeah.
suit
A massive
with
hat,
a
right?
gigantic hat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her hat is normal sized, and like I'd say like black. Like it's definitely like dyed leather, as well as like these leather studded armor that is also has some like nice shoulder pads fashioned to it. She's got a sort of a cloak that's sort of covering over her arms. It kind of comes in front. It comes in front of the shoulders a little bit so that she can kind of hide her hands in it. And she has a sick headband on,
Sick.
and her hair tied up straight, and it's dark like yours.
Like straight up?
Now tell me, do you really want to love me forever?
Oh.
My mind went straight to Marge Simpson.
So
Oh, I like that better, but it wasn't like that. But it's
you and your fucking voices, I love it.
so
Homie. Oh,
she's there now. What's up?
What
What's
the?
up? Is that what she says?
Yeah, the hat. She's got like the headband and then the hat's over it. So that's kind of what's keeping the hat like firm on her head.
Uh-huh.
What do you? What?
She just says, "What's up?"
What's up, Tessa?
Brother, how can I? What can I do for you? I'm sure you probably are trying to follow up on the discussion we were having earlier.
Well, I was going to say you must be quite delighted by the finishing product.
Yes, I
of
think this
conversation.
worked out in everyone's favor.
Yes,
Everyone gets the ships. It's a fair compromise.
I agree. I'm also glad I could help family.
Oh yes, I mean it's a pleasure to have you here. I've been meaning to reach out to you.
Really?
Ever since I heard your names and some of the papers that have made their way here, and we've even received some messages and bottles that people of stories about your life.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh. I forgot about that.
They're all true.
It's very fitting of the Southwind name.
Oh, you flatter me. Please tell me more about the other Southwinds.
Yes. Well, I mean, I've only met maybe one or two others myself, but us Southwinds are born of a different type of blood.
Oh yes, I know.
We're born of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sea blood.
I'm not sure what you. It seems like you were separated from.
So not A or O or AB.
C.
C.
Right.
Got it. C blood.
Blood type.
I'm gonna just took you a half second. It was awesome.
I like it. Well, it seems that you were separated from the sea at a very young age for you not to know about the legend that is the Southwind name.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Well, us Southwinds are born at sea when the southwesterly wind blows in, which is not something that happens out there. As you know from your time as a sailor, they blow southeast.
Of course.
And so when the southwesterly wind comes in, they say it's a blessing from Caesar Southwind. He is calling out to the sea, to his children, and those born at that time become his kin.
So you're saying my father's a god?
I wouldn't use that language, no.
But we know the truth.
No. I don't think that this is. He's just, from what I know and what I've been taught, and what I've read, it's more of a. It is otherworldly for sure, but it doesn't seem. It seems too meddling in the affairs of mortals to be godlike. But we are all his children.
They're referring to your father as an it.
Or that
Mentally,
it's a
I have already
circumstance
accepted
and not a person.
That I am now a demigod. That I've accepted this.
Oh, you're really just waiting for it.
I'm waiting for the moment
For
to
confirmation.
reveal my demigodness.
Right, and we are, and by the captain of the ship that is there during the southwesterly wind, they received the blessing of Southwind. And it's this dagger, and she produces it.
And I pull out mine as well.
Yeah, they say that this is the tooth of a legendary sea creature, power that runs through it, but only when the time is right.
Would I know or have an idea of what the sea creature would be?
Roll me a history check.
Are you?
You didn't even need to do that one.
Hold on. Hold on.
No, that clearly needed to happen.
Time out.
Yeah.
No, bullshit.
Was that Nat 1?
That ain't happening.
You better do something before he tells you you fucking failed.
I'm using lucky feet. I'm re-rolling an attacker check. Thank the fucking Lord. All right. 26.
So, as you know, the main area that a lot of these people have settled in is the Blood Bay, like the islands within the Blood Bay. It's always been sort of like a haven for pirate culture and sea life culture, to be, in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bloodless monster.
Bloodless.
Yes, not the Loch Ness monster, but the bloodless monster.
Monster.
In the Blood Bay.
So its tooth has created my dagger.
Yeah, the legend is that the Blood Bay is just the is you know, like throughout the Blood Bay lies like remnants and like the blood of this creature.
And sometimes it's teeth. Sometimes it's teeth.
Oh.
I was given my name at birth. I was born at sea, the southwesterly wind. Took me a while to rise up in this world, but I've seized my place and I intend to keep it.
As well you should.
I'm sure you understand, being a lord and a captain yourself,
Of course.
what it means to have power.
I do. And I'm hoping that perhaps our power could combine to make us more powerful.
I know we are family, but I still need to get to know you.
Of course.
You've done great deeds, but I've noticed, at least through some of the stories I've read, some of the people you have chosen to accompany you have not always been the most upstanding individuals. And please, I know I'm saying this being one of the Sea Lords, but I'm saying this being one of the Sea Lords. You've made some interesting decisions with the company that you keep.
There is something to be said about loyalty and honor.
And that we can agree on for sure. If you don't mind, I must go have a conversation with the chief executive.
Of course,
I hope I have answered your questions to your satisfaction.
you have.
Until we see each other later.
Of course.
And then she moves on, she goes away. Goes to talk to the chief executive. So it's been a very eventful day. We're going to start wrapping up. Like the sun's starting to set over the beach. Some people have started to take to recess. There are now some conversations happening, some private conversations. Like maybe one or two like leaders will like break off. They'll take a walk on the beach.
Jarrell
and,
is definitely
have a conversation.
Jarrell and Basha are definitely just hanging at Popeson's like shoulders, pretty much.
Yes, he's saying some sort of prayer to Valen and like just giving you all of the encouragements and blessings that he can.
This entire time, Jarrell has been looking at his helmet, but doesn't put it on in front of Popeson.
Where is it?
He has it like under his arm.
So he's holding it, but
yeah.
he's not. Okay.
He's not wearing it. He doesn't want to wear it in front of Popeson for whatever reason.
Okay.
It might be like a bit of shame. Again, he's thinking of it as she's not talking to me, but she's talking to you kind of thing.
He's got hat envy.
Yeah.
Wow, it's helmet envy, really.
Well, is Popeson wearing a helmet?
Oh, he's wearing a hat. He's wearing a hat.
It's a
a
hat.
big Pope
yeah,
hat.
So John's got the hat envy.
Jarrell.
I'm sorry.
John does not care for Pope
I'm
hats.
sorry. No, Jarrell is looking at Popeson thinking like, oh, I wish I had one of them hats.
Can I roll an insight to think if Jarrell thinks it's the hat that gives him the power and not the helmet?
If you want to make it a roll, absolutely.
Just because I think that's stupid. 11.
It could be the hat, but he's also just.
Are you doing insight checks with a 0 insight
Yes.
bonus?
That's
do it all
why he does it all the time. It's
I
his
just
bit.
realized that,
It's
though.
his bit.
I'm like, why is he even rolling insight checks?
Jarrell.
That's
Classic
hilarious.
2 Jarrell.
It's
insight.
great. You know what? I'm just sad that I didn't catch it for like over a year now.
It's been a long time.
Whenever John doesn't want to make the decision for himself, he's just like, I'm just another dice aside.
Yeah, and Jarrell's insight is a good way to determine that.
So,
Instead of me knowing.
It could be
find
the
out what
hat.
Jarrell knows.
It could be the hat, but he also is the religious leader of all humankind. And whoever else chooses to follow Valen. But let's be honest with ourselves, the humans do kind of overpopulate many of the other
Right.
races in this world. Because they're like the rabbits of the humanoids. You know what I'm saying?
They have sex with everything. Is that what rabbits do? No.
I don't know, but Quinn does.
So, that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
What else does anybody have? I don't really want to roll initiative for this. We're kind of getting towards the end, but like the day's starting to roll down. Is anyone trying to do anything before we close on the day?
Yes. For
Okay,
sure.
So yeah, you've been talking to Popeson. that you're doing. I mean, it's, just real quick, Zero, Hedrick, you guys doing anything?
Yeah, I got one more thing. If we want to go around,
Zero, yeah. What is Zero? I guess like kind of doing to wrap up the day. Is there anyone you want to talk to in particular? Is there anyone? Is there anywhere you want to go right now?
Zero's going to go back to his lab and invent aviators.
The airship lab.
No, the sunglasses.
Yeah.
The lab on the airship.
Okay.
And he's going to go invent aviators.
Okay.
I literally was like sunglasses.
Yes,
Yeah.
the sunglasses, so that after that I can create aviators, the people.
Because you need the sunglasses.
Yes.
First.
You cannot run
Wow.
a Top Gun Academy without aviators.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You
So there he
cannot
goes.
do it.
Right.
Okay.
And the fluffy pilot jacket.
That's perfect.
so they're
That's
perfect, like chrome to match your
yeah.
skin tone or whatever.
right. Hedrick, anyone in particular you're trying to approach, talk to? I mean, like
Yeah,
the leaders of the leaders of the living world are here.
I am seeing the crowd, and I am kind of floating, not really involved in conversation, but more or less just glancing back over.
Eavesdropping?
A bit, but
If
without.
you're going to be judgy about it,
Yeah,
just
like-
listening to people's conversations is what
I am
doing.
doing it. I'm doing it obviously to make eye contact with everyone in the room.
To try to like insert yourself into a conversation or be invited into one?
Not really.
You're
like
that
I'm
guy.
Stand in the corner of the conversation, making eye contact until somebody returns the eye contact.
I picture Zach Galifianakis for some reason.
I am on the move, drink in my hand, not joining any of these groups, but constantly keeping an eye over at Tessa and the leader of the Omega Project.
Okay.
So as she finishes that conversation, at whatever point, I want to saunter up to her and say, see Lord Southwind, pleasure is all mine, Hedrick the Entertainer.
I did tell you earlier that you can address me as Captain.
Well, Captain, I do love to sing and dance, but that's not all that I can do. I was wondering if you'd like to get a little more acquainted.
He's trying to nail your sister, man.
I'm just so
she's
I'm just so proud of
Not
her
really.
that she is
As-
so firm about her title.
As long as I don't have to role play this shit. But because I think it'd be fucking hilarious if it did work out,
Please no.
please roll me a persuasion check, Hedrick.
Please no. Persuasion. Of course he's gonna be able to persuade her.
It's definitely going to be a charisma
Although
roll.
she's charismatic
27.
too. So.
Why don't we go somewhere where we can talk?
No!
Quieter.
No! It's my sister, man.
Not really.
So I will
Jarrell,
hold
does
my
Jarrell
hand
have
out.
access to Zone of Truth?
This
will come in handy later.
Yeah.
I will hold my hand out, wait for her to grasp it, and say, "Right this way, Captain."
Do I see this?
Do you?
I hope so.
What's your passive perception?
14.
No, you do not.
Damn it! No, that makes sense. I'm probably preoccupied talking about myself.
Right.
Oh, that really grinds my gears. I don't like this. Urgh.
So I'm gonna have you roll some. I would like for you to. I'm gonna.
The performance check?
I know she's not real, but God!
I was gonna say something. We do this off mic.
Uh-huh.
So.
But then I interjected and I want to know what the role is.
I know I'm interjecting
And I
this,
think
but
the audience wants to know too, okay?
Marvin Gaye,
What about Marvin Gaye?
a little bit of Marvin Gaye to like end the episode.
I mean, I don't know if I can use Marvin
Luther
Gaye.
Vandross.
Yeah. But I'm sure people can imagine at home.
Whatever you need me to do, just so you know, I am proficient in dexterity saves.
Oh, come on! Stop it!
I'm just asking for a performance roll.
Ugh. I'm not even gonna look.
I'm gonna use my good one. We'll see.
It's
how
like
good
walking
it
in
is.
on your sister fucking a friend. You just
Oh
close your
yeah.
eyes.
All right. So that's 18 plus 13.
No!
Best night of her life.
Wait a minute. Dissonant whispers! Dissonant whispers!
I gave her the old 3-1. Because I rolled a 31.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm just-
My ears are bleeding.
So we're gonna now move on from that.
I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to move on. And you have to listen to me.
Yes.
So I'm going to move on from that now that we've established what is happening with Hedrick tonight.
Oh, thank you, Fran. I'm very satisfied.
So
she apparently.
As soon as we get late into the night, it's time for people to get some sleep. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, y'all have to rest up and get back to it tomorrow at some point.
I might have to take a point of exhaustion.
Shush.
You suggested it. So now you do.
I love a good balance. You know, what can I say?
You're gonna wake up exhausted with
Yeah.
1 point of exhaustion.
All right.
What about her?
I feel like that was good enough for a jolt onset.
All I care about right now, for the sake of mechanics and things, is Hedrick.
Yeah.
So, anyways, however, as you do fall asleep, whenever time it is you do fall asleep,
Before we all go to bed, Jarrell would he's sitting, he's praying with Basha, and he puts the helmet on,
oh sure,
and he says, "Hey, Valen, it's Jarrell. I haven't talked in a while. Was just wondering if you'd, want to talk again sometime. I miss you." And then he'll take the helmet off.
Dude, you've been ghosted.
Yeah.
love Jarrell.
Jarrell's having a right. Mailbox full.
What is it? This subscriber has not set up their voicemail.
As funny as all those things are, no, there's no response at all.
Yeah.
Dead silence. Just so we can actually establish what happens. Not like there's not like even like an automated message like that.
There's no voicemail.
None of that actually happened.
Right.
If there is a voicemail, you have no idea.
Right.
But you've put your thoughts out there. You've left your thought voicemail.
How long do you sit there?
Oh, a while.
However long
'cause
that prayer takes.
Yeah, and they'll be praying. Both of them, Jarrell and Basha, and who is there? Zero wouldn't necessarily pray, so there's no reason for him to be there.
No, and Zero also doesn't sleep. So he's going to be running the class and the preparations for that well into the hours of the night. I'm sure he'll
It's going to
take
take me at least tonight and tomorrow to probably get mirror shades done properly.
right.
I mean, that's not
Right.
first thing first.
Priorities.
Priorities.
But as everyone else drifts off to sleep, and pretty much everybody besides Zero and wherever Felix is has to sleep. Even our very own Arion Black, who is among the airship with you guys. Everyone's got to sleep. And
Was Arian present for the summit meeting?
I don't think so.
he was, if he was, no one saw him.
We didn't notice. Okay. I just wanted to make sure when we got to the ship, he was there. When we got back to the ship, he's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's been in the general area. He's been on the airship even on the way here.
I mean,
Yeah. You guys have been hanging out, talking.
Oh, okay.
there's been a dude with us the entire time that we just don't pay attention to.
Oh yeah,
so.
that's okay. Pregnant.
Yeah,
I
you
love
mean
you.
Dilbert
Not Pregnard. No, everybody
Dilbertram.
loves Pregnard.
You know what's funny is that we addressed Dilbertram, right, and then we actually had to cut a piece of that out of the other episode because my cat started attacking everybody's feet. So then everybody forgot about him again, and it was amazing.
I did. Yeah, that's hilarious.
just picked up like
But
it never
yes,
happened.
Dilbertram has been diligently taking notes this whole time, and is trying to essentially follow someone back to what they're doing. He decided not to follow Hedrick, and it's about time to go to bed. Though I mean, you guys actually have private rooms here at this cove. Like you don't have to go back to the airship if you don't. You know what I mean? Like they've set up like some really luxurious rooms for you here.
I want my bed to look like an open oyster,
It does now.
and like a
So,
big
yeah.
pearl just sitting right on
Yeah,
the bed.
it's a big,
Big
pillow.
pillow,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you get to sleep right in your nice, beautiful, comfy, open
Oyster bed?
Oyster bed. Yeah, all of you.
It's
If
not
that's
a
Wait,
what
we all get oyster
if
bed?
that's what you
Well,
like.
It's not a it's not a clam, which would be symmetrical with the lid and the top. This thing is like oblong.
Yeah, it would fit your
shaped,
body.
and like
Yeah.
I've seen some
Yeah.
funky looking oysters.
It's
man.
luxurious as
Yeah.
shit.
Big old shell.
It's luxurious as shit.
Scalloped and everything.
But it's not really the best night's sleep you've ever had. because you find yourself tossing and turning a bit. And your mind starts to get clouded with like these terrible visions.
Like what?
So, a while back, you guys all had a very similar nightmare. You kind of start to dream and you open your eyes, right? And you're not in your bed anymore. You're, again, in this plaza.
All of us?
Yeah, all of you are having the same dream.
But we don't see each other.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sound cries of thousands of people. Crumbled stone litters the broken cobblestone streets. The buildings that once stood here now just lay in ruin. You look ahead to see a massive pillar of light corrupted by wisps of swirling dark energy, giving it a purple hue. This is just like last time. All of you had the same dream. Even Hedrick, who wasn't even here when it happened. You remember having this dream. You can't see where the cries are coming from, and the streets are empty save for a lone figure in front of you, kneeling on a plinth where a gazebo once stood.
Mr. Bouchonks, no!
Its body convulses as if it was sobbing or laughing, but you can't seem to tell because it's actually not making any sound. The sound is not coming from it. After a few moments, the figure stands. You notice his scalp, it's decayed. The hair that once grew from it is matted and gray. It begins to turn to face you. An empty eye sockets stare through you as its mouth opens into a gaping maw of darkness, and the cries grow even louder. You feel paralyzed by fear. Even Jarrell, who is immune to being frightened.
That's debatable.
You involuntarily open your mouth to scream, but not even a whimper emerges. The figure suddenly rushes towards you, its feet floating above the ruined cobbles, and soon you see nothing but darkness, and the cries are deafening, clawing at your very soul for help before you think you wake in a cold sweat. And that's what we're going to call this episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening. If you like us, you can find us on the internet. We are on such places as Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes. We're on Facebook and Reddit, just our Hapless Heroes podcast. And a lot of those places will just point you to our Discord server, which is really the greatest and coolest place to hang out for everybody. We're much more active on there. A lot of us are just like not great with social media. We'll definitely respond on all platforms. Don't get me wrong. But it's like if you want to be like in a continuing discussion and like hang out with our listeners, fellow, like artists, all of us cast members, past and present, like we're all chilling in there. And it's a great time. We got pictures of pups and animals and talking about things D&D, things that are not D&D, everything. It's a super awesome place, and shout out to everybody who is in there right now. And if you really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. It helps us gain a lot of visibility. We've gotten a lot of wonderful reviews in the past, and really just appreciate all the kind things that you've said to us. You helped us grow this show, and we couldn't have done it without you. You're awesome. But if you really, really like us, you can support us by donating to our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/HaplessHeroes. We have amazing rewards. We have special Discord roles that give you access to the Patron Lounge, which we have, I'm trying not to sound exclusive, but it's pretty exclusive. A lot of really cool people in there. We like sharing bloopers, and like we have some rewards on the Patreon too. We'll give you behind the scenes audio, James's notebook, which is like pretty much all of his notes from episodes 1 to 100. And it's just ridiculous.
So many episodes.
Yeah. Keep adding more. There's a ton of stuff on there. I'm not going to list it all off. You can check it out if you want to. I have to say also, because by the time this episode comes out, we will have paid our hosting costs entirely on the donations of our Patreon subscribers.
Thanks, guys.
And that is the first time ever that we've broken even for that. So I know I've sent all of you a letter already, but I'm going to tell you again. You're amazing. Thank you. We never expected this. We never expected to have as many beautiful listeners as we do today. But each and every one of you means something to us, whether you're donating or not. You out there listening to this right now are awesome.
And if you like us, I mean really like us, Sally Field and the whole deal, make Hapless Heroes pumpkins. Like however you want to sculpt them, whichever character you choose, put them on a rocket and launch them to the moon, because it'll get there just in time for the Moon Men to have Happy Halloween, because they don't get pumpkins on the moon.
Aw, that's so nice.
Yeah. It might. I don't know.
And then they get to listen to us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to incorporate an MP3 player full of our stuff in, and maybe some candy. Who doesn't like candy?
That would be space candy.
Wow. It's beautiful.
Space
It's
candy, yeah.
totally doable as long as you have access to rockets.
It all tastes
Who
like
doesn't?
pumpkin.
Right. So I guess there's not
Oh, I
much
hate
left.
the taste of pumpkin.
Well, it's too bad.
That was
They
your
might-
idea.
They might like it.
It came in a pumpkin.
I hope
It's
they're
gonna
not
taste like
allergic,
the
you know.
pumpkin, man.
So, anyways, the only thing left I have to do is outro this cast for you. So, to my right was John playing Lord Gerard the Light,
Oh, I'm totally not scared, but that was really weird.
Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War,
Highway to the danger zone. As he's like welding on these licenses.
Phil as the influential Hedrick the Entertainer,
Come on.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep again anytime soon. Hey, you wake up. Wake up.
and Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
I'm not surprised I'm a demigod.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We will see you next week where we'll have a spooky episode for you.
It's gonna be scary.
See you then. Bye.
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 Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.